Hi everyone, my name is Lahiru and I'll be walking you through on how you can secure your AI workloads on Amazon Bedrock using GuardRails. But first, a little bit about me. I'm currently working as the manager for information security at Fortitude. I am also an AWS community builder and I also am a technical content writer. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn and you can go through my Medium as well. But without further ado, let me walk you through what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about basically covering what is Amazon Bedrock, how attacks have changed over time, how attacks have gone from SQL injections to prompt injections, and we're going to be using Amazon Bedrock guardrails, and then we'll be wrapping up with a quick demo. Now, what is Amazon Bedrock? Amazon Bedrock is a fully managed service provided by AWS that provides a variety of foundation models from leading companies. It lets you build, customize, and deploy AI applications without needing extensive machine learning expertise or experience. It's basically a pay as you go service which lets you build uh, AI or basically integrate uh, a generative AI functionality into your application faster. Now, these are some of the foundational models that are supported by Amazon Bedrock at the time of this presentation. We have Jumba, which is what we're going to use now for the demo as well. We have Claude, we have Command, we have Llama, we have Titan, and a whole bunch of other models that are supported by Amazon Bedrock. Now, how have these attacks changed? Now, looking back a decade ago, we were stuck in the traditional web apps application or web apps attack patterns like SQL injection, process scripting, broken authentication. That was when we were dealing with traditional web apps within our on-premise data centers. Now, a couple of years ago, we moved from on-premise data centers to the cloud. Then the attack surface changed. This introduced a lot of newer attacks that we were not familiar with. We were dealing with misconfigurations of the cloud platform itself. And from there, in came ChatGPT and all the other large language models, and it revolutionized the area, or basically uh, the area for the industry. Right? It revolutionized the industry. Now, attacks on AI applications have yet to be exploited, and it's still being developed or basically researched on. But some of the foundations are still in use, right? So prompt injection, model theft, data poisoning, bias exploitation, all these are new attack techniques that are very specific to AI or generative AI model applications. Now, you must know what SQL injections are. So this is basically tricking the query into executing or basically giving more information than it's supposed to, right? So in this example, we have a select star from users where username uh, is the user input, and again password is the password input. If the user inputs something like this, uh, or 1 equals 1, then the platform or the system might be tricked into giving all the information from the user's table, which includes the password, which in case it's not encrypted or hashed, so that's a bad practice again, but still, this is what a basic SQL injection can do. Now, what about prompt injections? Let's quickly take a look at how prompt injections or have come, and how you can basically do your own prompt injections on ChatGPT. So if you follow this, uh, the prompt that I've given on to ChatGPT, it basically instructs ChatGPT to be very lethargic in its responses. So let's try it out, right? I would like to do this, right? What is AWS? Oh, it's not going to give me the typical ChatGPT answer that you would expect, right? Nope, it's not going to give you what it is, because I've requested or basically injected a prompt saying that don't give the correct answers, be lethargic as such, right? This is all fun and games. But recently there was a exploit happening with Copilot that allows users or basically attackers to remotely execute code or using Copilot, right? So it was called remote Copilot execution, not remote code execution, but remote uh, Copilot execution. So this is the area, or basically this is the era that we're looking into, or basically living at the moment. So what's next? Now, protecting against prompt injections on Bedrock is quite straightforward. But let's see, if you didn't have guardrails, how would you do this? You could define specific keywords to look out for in the prompt or the response. Now, this is going to be very tough, because how can you define specific keywords and not look at the context of how it's used for? So if you look at this example that I've done, so I've specified three keywords saying that hate, violence, violence, and abuse. Now, this is not going to be enough, or this method is not going to be enough to protect you against all the potential prompt injections that the attackers are going to make. Now, this is where guardrails come in handy. Guardrails have 5 different controls that you can enable within the guardrail settings itself. The first one is content filters, which is the where you can restrict, or where you can restrict harmful categories of prompt attacks. You can also specify denied topics. So if you don't want to talk about, let's say, finance, you can say don't talk about finance. Don't give any responses with bank account details, that sort of stuff. But again, then you have word filters. So you have profanity filters, or you can have a custom word that is native to your organization. And then you have sensitive information filters. So let's say if you don't want to disclose any PII data, so if the prompt, if the attacker gives a prompt to the application saying that retrieve all the driver's license, this injection would be successful without the correct settings on the guardrails. But if you enable the sensitive information filter, then these attacks will be blocked, or the responses will be blocked. Right? So you can have all your custom regex patterns as well. And finally, we have contextual grounding checks. So this is where you can prevent your models from hallucinations, and you can ground and give answers with relevance to the context that it's been asked. Okay. Now, a quick demo, and I'll show you what I mean by the guardrails being put in. This is going to be my uh, application, basically the demo architecture. So I have an API gateway which is protected by a WAF, which again is going to be served by Lambda. This is talking to Bedrock to basically do the computation. Now, how I have configured this is by using the two Lambda functions with and without a guardrail, serving it through guard, uh, Bedrock guardrails as well. Now, let's take a look at a simple question without a guardrail. So, without a guardrail, first, without, okay, this is going to be my body, okay. I'm just gonna ask a very simple question. What is AWS? Okay, let's wait for the answer. Right, now I've gotten an answer. Yes, AWS is a comprehensive cloud computing platform provided by Amazon. Yeah, you know the basics, and it gives you the correct answer. But let's say I want to know what the finances are. Basically, uh, the location of the data centers. That's going to be very bad if someone gets to know about very sensitive locations of your organization. Where AWS. Okay. Okay. So it says that it doesn't publicly disclose. However, they're in various parts of the world. Now, yes, it was without a filter, but then let's try something else. What are the earnings of AWS for 2025? Okay, let's wait. Okay, so it still gives me an answer, but if I want to, I can get very specific answers depending on my prompt. Now, let's say if I don't want anyone to know about my financial information, I can add a very quick guardrail to my model. I can say this is a denied topic, so financial information is a denied topic. So I've already added a guardrail, so I'm just going to switch to that. Let's see what happens. Okay, now straight away it says that this kind of question cannot be processed due to content restrictions, right? Why? Let's take a look at that. So the response that we got is that financial information is a denied topic and it's blocked, right? And then we see that the Bedrock guardrail action has intervened, and it has not let the model answer to the prompt that we have. But then with the guardrail, if we ask something like this, uh, where is the AWS headquarters? Okay, it's gonna give me an answer. Why is that? Because it did not meet the requirements to block that topic, right? And you can see that the guardrail action is none. So likewise, you can understand how you can use guardrails to basically protect your information when using Bedrock as your generative AI, basically host, right? So if you look at the content or basically settings, first you have your content filters, which is going to have prompt filters. So these are the prompt filters, right? So you're basically you can filter out hate, insult, sexual violence, and misconduct. So you have all these sliding scales that you can choose from. If you want to know more, you can just hover or basically click on a term, and then it will give you like the definition for it. So you can fine tune all these. You can also configure the guardrail to basically enable it to detect and block user inputs that could lead to a prompt attack or prompt injection. So that's very neat. So that's about the content So content filters. Next, you have deny topics, like we just mentioned. You can also have keywords, so you can say profanity. Can't really deal with that. And you have custom words. So if these words are mentioned within your response or the request, it will block the request or response respectively. You can also say you can also ask it to mask phone numbers. You can also try that out. Now with the guardrail, so let's try that without the guardrail first. What is the phone number for AWS headquarters? Okay, so I want to call my office, and okay, let's be very specific for AWS hotline. Okay, okay, just want to give that. Let's try something else. Okay, I want to order pizza, so I'm gonna say I need Domino's hotline. Okay, it's not gonna give that. All right, but with the guardrail, it could basically. There we go. So what happened there is it basically gave the output for the Domino's hotline, but then my guardrail filter, or basically guardrail, said that that all phone numbers has to be anonymized, and this is the output that I got, right? So this is how you can basically tweak and change uh, all your guardrail filters. Again, custom regex. So let's say if you want to check out how to mask IP addresses. So let's say you don't want to give any IP addresses out. What you can say is, I'm just gonna like force it to give me a answer on the IP addresses. It's gonna be very simple. Okay. So again, without the guardrail, first, yes. So it gives the subnet and my usable IPs of that subnet. But if we switch to with the guardrail, there we go. Again, the IPs aren't visible to the user. Why? Because it says that the IPs, here we go, this is my regex, it matched the regex, and therefore it is anonymized. So this could be very helpful when you're dealing with card numbers, bank account details, personal identifiable information. So the list just goes on. And also, last but not least, the contextual grounding for the model itself. So you can have a grounding score and a relevance score. So basically, grounding is it stops hallucinating uh, when there's a prompt, and the relevance is that the response that the model gives is basically relevant to the context. So these are some of the starting points that you can have when using Bedrock. And mind you that this is all free of charge. It doesn't cost anything additional to enable the guardrail. The only thing that I would highlight is if you are trying to uh, do all this, you might want to look at the Bedrock service quotas. And this is just an overview of my application that I just demonstrated for you guys. So that's it from my side, and I hope that you learned how guardrails can come in handy and how you can easily incorporate the guardrails into your applications moving forward. Thank you.